prominent for my son. I'm not doing it.
And if he doesn't listen to you?
Who? No, you must mean owners, like not my son.
We don't like his brashness. We don't like his absence of humility. We got to teach him a lesson because we got to make sure he understands under all circumstances we still run this.
So Shedeur Sanders is still making headlines after a shocking fall in the 2025 NFL Draft. And the internet is running wild with theories on why the NFL snubbed Shedeur. Despite having an incredible college career at Colorado, Shedeur ended up being picked by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round, 144th overall. That's way lower than many experts expected, with some even predicting he could go as high as number 2. Now here's where things get interesting. NFL insiders are claiming that Shedeur's entitled attitude and decision to skip events like the Shrine Bowl and NFL Combine might have hurt his draft stock, but many others, like Stephen A. Smith, are pushing back, claiming that Shedeur might be facing bias because of his race. And according to Stephen A., if Shedeur wasn't a confident black quarterback with a bold personality, his attitude wouldn't be a problem. But that's not all. Stephen A. also suggested that this is some type of Colin Kaepernick-level collusion against Shedeur and his famous dad, NFL legend Deion Sanders. Meanwhile, fans and analysts are torn. Some think Shedeur's attitude really hurt his chances, while others are saying he's being unfairly judged, especially compared to white quarterbacks who were just as bold and confident. So, did Shedeur's attitude cost him, or is there something deeper going on here? Let's break this down.
I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we on the bigger and better things.
So now that the wild ride of Shedeur Sanders' draft weekend is over, more details are coming out about how some teams really felt about him. In case you missed it, Shedeur Sanders, the son of NFL great Deion Sanders, is in the news after unexpectedly falling in the 2025 NFL Draft. Even though he had a great season at Colorado with over 4,000 yards and 37 touchdowns, the Cleveland Browns didn't pick him up until the 5th round at number 144. Shedeur had one of the most shocking drops in the NFL Draft before the Browns finally picked him in the 5th round. And as he kept slipping, draft experts were left guessing when a team would finally take a chance on him. Shedeur ended up being the 144th pick in the draft, even though there was early talk that the Browns might take him at number 2 and make him their future star.
Shedeur, you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, I know it's been a long weekend. We're going to take you off to work here, all right, brother?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Hey, listen. You gotta come in, you gotta work hard, you gotta earn your job, earn your keep. It doesn't matter where you're taking, it matters what you do from this point forward, all right? Talented, I spent a lot of time with you, you're a good kid. Let's get ready to go to work. It's improve what you do past the all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, I got a coach here right now.
Yo, what's up, coach?
Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to see you.
Remember I told you the Lord works in mysterious ways, right?
No, for sure.
Hey, we're gonna get to work.
Yes, sir.
I know. It's an opportunity, and we're gonna get to work together, okay, buddy?
Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Still, Shedeur kept a positive mindset and said the whole thing didn't change his love of the game or how he sees the NFL. But Shedeur's surprise fall has a lot of people talking, with critics bringing up concerns about his attitude and the way he makes decisions on the field. In fact, some sources are claiming that Shedeur's entitled attitude is the main reason he got snubbed, and apparently the owners didn't like his body language or how he sometimes blamed his teammates. On top of that, Shedeur skipped both the Shrine Bowl and the NFL Combine workouts, choosing to focus on interviews and his pro day instead, which some experts think hurt his draft chances. Former NFL quarterback and longtime analyst Boomer Esiason talked about the situation on his morning show on WFAN, and he said that a lot of coaches and general managers in the league think Shedeur is off-putting and too high on himself. And according to Esiason, Shedeur's father Deion makes things even worse for Shedeur by talking too much and acting like he's in charge.
They took him off, and they took him off because the owner said take him off. I don't want that guy. Shedeur Sanders just torpedoed himself. His attitude off the field at the Combine, his dad didn't help him either. He was on podcasts talking about, this is my son. If I can get him to where I want to get him to, I'm going to do that. But, when you listen to this kid talk right prior or at the Combine about if you want a new culture in your locker room, I'm the guy to do that. I can turn it around. I mean, he's very high on himself. And I think he was very off-putting to many, many coaches and general managers in the league. And I'm telling you right now, and I know this after talking to 3 different personnel people in the NFL this weekend. They didn't even have him on their board. They took him off. And they took him off because the owner said, take him off. I don't want that guy. I don't want this entitled person on our team. And I don't blame him.
But that's not all. Just weeks ago, reports surfaced that an anonymous NFL coach whose team is picking in the top 7 claimed Shedeur came off as brash and arrogant during a team interview. Former ESPN reporter and NFL insider Josina Anderson was the one who leaked this in a post on X. And she defended Shedeur, writing, I am disappointed to hear that a quarterback's coach from a team drafting in the top 7 referred to Shedeur Sanders as coming off brash and arrogant in his team interview and making his assessment known to a number of people, per source. I'm purposely not naming the team as not to directly call the team out. I'm just sharing that this coach's personal assessment is the direct opposite from how Sanders came across to many reporters in his press conference with the media at the Combine. Sanders appeared to go out of his way to acknowledge multiple media members, regardless if they were recognized or not. He seemed cordial, polite, witty, and thoughtful, along with being confident, as many athletes are. Alternately, these observations were distinctly different from how another quarterback prospect came off to some in the media last year in Indy. Josina also said that according to league sources, this coach, who called Shedeur brash and arrogant, also said he has an issue with the culture of athletes who have broad fame and financial success before entering the NFL. But Josina pushed back and added, hopefully any potential biases towards the culture are being checked at the door, as not to unduly impact stock in business. The modern-day college athlete is evolving, as is the scale of business and opportunities surrounding them before entering professional leagues. But more insiders later came forward claiming they heard the same thing about coaches and owners feeling like Shedeur was too full of himself. According to Fox Sports, Todd McShay, a longtime draft analyst, claimed he heard from 2 teams that they felt Shedeur was acting like he didn't care about what they thought of him in a way that wasn't a professional approach. Now, some folks are saying that the main issue is that Shedeur didn't really take the pre-draft process seriously. And by the way, his dad Deion did something similar back in the day when he refused to take a long test for the Giants, telling them he wouldn't still be available when they picked. And he was right.
Before the 1989 NFL Draft, the New York Giants tried to give Deion Sanders a test. When Primetime walked into the Giants' interview room, they handed him a book thicker than a telephone book. They told Sanders that it was the test that they give to all of their players. However, once he realized that the Giants had the 10th overall pick in the draft, he looked at them and said, I'll be gone before then. I ain't got time for this. Then stood up and left the Giants' facilities.
But see, Deion had next-level talent that everyone could see. Shedeur isn't quite on the same level. For players who aren't clear-cut top picks, skipping parts of the draft process can backfire. And that's exactly what happened to Shedeur. And now some people are pointing to these types of interviews as an example of Shedeur's arrogant attitude.
Tell them what does Shedeur Sanders need? What do you hope to get out of the NFL to help you reach your maximum potential as fast as possible?
All I need is opportunity. Simple. Whatever franchise want to change their franchise, and there's no doubt who to go with. I've done it over and over and over, so you'll be a fool not to pick me.
And Lewis mentioned again,
if you ain't trying to change the franchise or the coach, don't get me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are. I mean, how many times did Raul get touched?
You said what?
How many times did Raul get touched? There was able, like, of course, whenever you're able to run the ball consistently, and whenever you're able to, then that opens up the pass, you know. But it's just like you got to understand like what your team good at. So it's like, why would we keep running the ball if, okay, we out there and we get in a situation where it's a must get and we don't get it?
Right. Are those kind of like 4th and 1 conversions that haven't gone your guys' way in the last couple of, is that kind of play into everybody's mind? Is that kind of something on your mind when thinking about, advancing the ball and whatnot?
Nah, I'd rather, if we're going to go down, I'd rather go down swinging, honestly. Because I know I could throw the best punch.
But fans are saying the difference between Shedeur and his dad is that his dad was elite and could back up this type of talk. But on the flip side, some voices in sports media, like Stephen A. Smith, are pushing back against the criticism, saying Shedeur might be facing unfair treatment because of his race. Stephen A. argued that if Shedeur weren't a young black
Deion Sanders was a bad boy back in the day, man. People don't know about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was a bad boy, man. I didn't watch too much football, but I definitely would watch Deion Sanders when he was in his prime. That's why they called him prime time. But yeah, Deion Sanders was really good back in the day. Shiloh is younger than Shedeur, huh? They don't really talk about him too much. I mean, I guess he gets talked about a lot too. Both of them do. Both of them are in the news a lot. But I don't know. I think Shiloh is. Am I saying his name? Shiloh, right? Shiloh Sanders. I think he's a little bit more low key than Shedeur. Shedeur is more out there. Shiloh's kind of he's a lot more low key, I think. You know. But he still has the confidence. He said they still got that Deion Sanders confidence, you know. So this is from Culture Covered. Check them out, Culture Covered. If y'all want to watch the rest of this video, go to their YouTube channel, support them, subscribe to their channel. Anyway, they're in there now, so. Anyway, what do you think about this video, man? Leave your comments, subscribe to Charles Renee for the thumbs up button.